I should have realized something was wrong the moment, Commander. Viacor froze. 1 second earlier, I had been laughing with him beside the tactical screens aboard the Imperial Draxian warship Zarak, trying to explain a simple Terran joke he didn't understand. His glowing amber eyes had narrowed with concentration, his head tilted, silver-black braids sliding over one armored shoulder. I'd known Draxians were literal thinkers, but I hadn't expected that level of literal. So, he rumbled, this human expression, are you seeing anyone? It means visual observation of another person. No, I said, chuckling. It means dating, being romantically involved. He had blinked. And are you?
No.
I'm single. And that, apparently, was where I doomed half the sector. Because Viacor went utterly still, the way a predator does before lunging. In Draxian custom, he finally said, voice low and surprisingly soft, to proclaim oneself unclaimed in the presence of a warrior is an offering. I froze. A what? An invitation, he clarified. To bond, to protect, to pursue. I opened my mouth to respond, but before I could, Viacor stood to his full height, nearly 7 feet of stone-carved muscle and ornate obsidian armor. His eyes glowed brighter than I'd ever seen. You are single, he said solemnly. Then I shall answer your declaration accordingly. Oh, no, wait. But it was too late. He turned sharply, fists balled. To all aboard, his voice boomed over ship-wide comms. Terran scientist Jace Rowan has declared himself unclaimed. As warrior of this vessel, I issue formal intent. Every Draxian on the ship immediately roared with approval. And that is how I apparently triggered a warrior claim ritual by simply saying I didn't have a girlfriend. I hadn't even had my morning coffee. Middle, the claim, the enemies, and the unexpected soft-nessa cultural disaster in motion. Draxians took their customs seriously. Too seriously. The moment Viacor made his announcement, everything spiraled. The crew congratulated him. Officers bowed to me. Someone handed me a ceremonial blade taller than a toddler. Seriously, I begged Viacor later in his quarters. You're misunderstanding. Humans don't work like this. He stared at me, genuinely confused. You declared yourself unclaimed. I responded. Did I offend your ritual? No, I groaned. There is no ritual. Being single isn't a mating invitation. He blinked.
Twice. Slowly.
Then why proclaim it aloud? Because you asked. Silence. His eyes softened. Jace, this is embarrassing for both species. You think. He exhaled sharply through his teeth, pacing. For Draxians, revealing one's availability to a single warrior is intimate, serious, binding. I thought you were signaling me. I wasn't. But even as I said it, a very inconvenient part of me wasn't so sure. Because Viacor, despite being a battle-hardened alien warrior, treated me with a gentleness that felt intentional, protective, focused. And the way he looked at me, no one had ever looked at me like that before. The competitors arrive. The situation escalated when the Rakkari fleets entered Draxian territory. The Rakkari were a rival species, angular exoskeletons, venomous spines, and a cultural philosophy based on dominance. They intercepted our ship, demanding an envoy. The Rakkari warlord appeared on screen, 6 eyes narrowing the moment he saw me. This human, he hissed. It speaks with the warrior commander. Viacor stepped forward, growling. He is under my protection. The Rakkari's mandibles twitched. Then I shall take him from you, he hissed. For sport. Viacor's expression changed instantly, no longer warrior serious, but something colder.
Deadlier.
You may challenge my claim, Viacor said, if you wish to die. Viacor. I hissed under my breath. Stop escalating. But Draxians didn't stop. Not when something they cared about was threatened. Not when someone they cared about was threatened. The Rakkari didn't hesitate. We challenge, they said. Trial by combat. The trial begins. I was forced to watch from the viewing platform aboard the Rakkari battle station, a huge arena filled with sharpened metal pillars, electrified walls, and pits lined with venomous creatures. Viacor stepped into the arena wearing his armor, but when he looked up at me through the barriers, his expression held something uncharacteristically raw. Fear. Not of the battle. Of failing me. I pressed my hand to the glass. You don't have to win for me, I said softly. He tilted his head.
Confused.
I mean, you don't owe me anything. I didn't mean to start this. I don't belong to you. His voice came through the comms, deep and rough. You do not belong, he said. You choose. If I win, it is only so you may choose freely. Without chains. Without threats. Without fear. My chest tightened. No warrior has ever fought for me before. No warrior has ever wanted you before? He asked quietly. I swallowed hard. No warrior has ever seen me, I said. Viacor smiled then, a small, genuine curl of tusked lips. Then let me show you how a Draxian fights for the one who makes his heart move. The gates opened. The Rakkari warlord lunged. And Viacor moved like a living storm. The battle, beautiful and brutal. Alien arenas weren't like human ones. There were no rules, no limits, no mercy. The Rakkari warlord attacked with toxins, blade arms, and explosive spines. But Viacor countered everything, shattering spines midair, dodging toxin sprays, grappling through clouds of venom that would have dissolved human lungs. His armor cracked, blood spilled, a shimmering blue glow. He fought harder. At one point he was pinned, the Rakkari's claws inches from his throat. My heart nearly stopped. But when the warlord hissed, "The human will watch you die," something inside Viacor snapped. He surged upward with a roar that shook the arena, tossing the warlord across the battlefield before driving his blade into the arena floor, generating a shockwave that knocked the Rakkari completely unconscious. Silence. Then the Rakkari announcer hissed, "Victory to the Draxian." Viacor looked up at me, bleeding, exhausted, but standing.
Alive.
Because he refused to let me be taken. Aftermath, the confession. When we returned to the ship, Viacor was treated for his wounds. Draxian healing gel sizzled as medics tended to him, but he kept his gaze locked on me the entire time. When they left, I sat beside his bed. "You almost died," I whispered. He shrugged. "A worthy risk." For what? Some misunderstanding? Some ritual that I accidentally triggered? He shook his head slowly.
No.
Not for ritual. His voice dipped lower. For you. My breath caught. Jace, I may have misunderstood your custom, but I did not misunderstand my heart. I stared at him, stunned. I thought humans declared availability as a form of courtship. So when you said you were single, I believed you were offering yourself to me. I wasn't, I said softly. Not intentionally. He nodded, accepting that. But then, I continued. After everything you did, I'm starting to think maybe I am offering myself now. Viacor froze. You what? I reached out, placing my hand over his, warm, calloused, trembling slightly. I choose, I whispered. If that's how your people do it. If that's how you do it. I choose you. His breath shuddered. Careful, he warned. Draxians take such words seriously. I leaned closer. So, do I. Viacor's eyes glowed brighter than I'd ever seen. And slowly, reverently, he lifted my hand to his forehead, pressing it there in a silent vow. Then I am yours, he said. Not by ritual, not by battle,
By choice.
ending the bond and the Piscean alliance forged from a misunderstanding. The Rakkari withdrew after their leader's defeat, unwilling to face Viacor again. Word spread through the sector that the Draxian commander had claimed a human companion, not through conquest, but through mutual choice. This fascinated half the galaxy, confused the other half. Terran diplomats panicked. Draxian elders celebrated. As for me, I found myself spending more and more time with Viacor, not because of obligation, but because being near him felt like gravity. One evening, as the ship drifted past a nebula of swirling violet and gold, Viacor and I stood on the observation deck. You know, I joked, this all started because I said I was single. A low rumble of amusement vibrated in his chest. And I took that far too seriously, he admitted. I'm glad you did. He turned to me slowly. As am I. I looked up at him, warmth spreading through me. If you could go back, I asked, before the misunderstanding, would you still have made your claim? He didn't hesitate. Yes, he said. But this time, I would ask first. I smiled. Then ask. He stepped closer, towering over me, but his voice was nothing but gentle. Jace Rowan of Terra, will you stand with me? As friend, partner, companion. In all battles. In all peace. In all days ahead. My heart pounded. My answer came easily. Yes. He bowed his head, touching his forehead to mine. A Draxian vow complete. And in that moment, across the stars and cultures and misunderstandings, something true formed between us. A bond, not of battle, not of ritual, but of choice.